The Bloc Québécois is against postponing or changing the elections date. In your opening remarks, you said that there are things underlying the decision, and what are those elements that you mentioned that are the reasons for the change of the elections date?
I appreciate your question, and I'll give kudos to the Bloc and to the NDP and to the Conservatives. It's my understanding that all three parties are against delaying the election to give pensions to more politicians. So kudos to you. I would like to give kudos eventually to every MP on this committee, because I hope you will do the right thing and either make the election earlier or make the pension eligibility later. With respect to, I believe, motivations behind it, well, I think there is a perception among the public that they're delaying the election to give millions in pensions to politicians that don't deserve it. Now, I don't think that's the perception. I hope that all MPs on this committee will do the right thing, that we're able to give kudos to all MPs on this committee, and instead of giving millions in pensions to politicians who don't deserve it, that the committee comes forward with two very reasonable solutions to just make the election earlier or move the pension eligibility later.
Est-ce à dire, si je vous comprends bien?
If I understand you well, there's no other argument to support this decision to postpone the elections. Is that what you're saying? There are no other reasons, other reasonable reasons to explain that?
So if the government allows the election to be delayed and end up with dozens of politicians who take a taxpayer-funded pension when they shouldn't have to, if the government lets that happen, then it will be about pensions, and that they will have proven that it's about pensions for politicians, because there's two simple solutions to avoid a religious holiday, right? And those two simple solutions are make the election earlier or make pension eligibility just a little bit later.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. We talked about voter turnout, we talked about accessibility, but by postponing it to the 27th, it's not about avoiding Diwali. With all the opportunities voters will have to exercise their franchise, one additional day or one day less doesn't change anything. As you said, Diwali is not a valid reason because other things could be done. So that does not affect voter turnout and would not change the date. The elections could still hold on the 20th of October. Is that correct?
It's just not believable that there isn't one of the next 350 days between now and October 20th. It's just not believable that there isn't a day that you can't have an election, right? And let's just say that it's impossible to have an election on one of those 350 days between now and October 20th of next year. Then all the government would have to do to make sure this isn't about giving politicians a pension who should not get one is just change the eligibility date for those pensions.